These shots are in no particular order from what we saw walking around. Actually, due to my difficulty in walking on this trip, we missed a lot of Vienna. This is an amazing city if you get to see what it looked like after the 50 some odd bombing raids the city took. It becomes even more impressive. The city of Vienna was bombed 52 times during World War II. 37,000 houses of the city were lost, 20% of the entire city. And it is amazing that it looks like it does today. The Hofburg is the former principal imperial palace of the Habsburgs dynasty in Austria. Located in the center of Vienna, it was built in the 13th century and expanded several times afterwards. It also served as the imperial winter residence. Although not my favorite place to be, the Kärntner Strasse, if that's how you say it, is Vienna's historically most famous and most notable shopping streets. High and not so high-end stores are here. However, the good thing about it is that it leads to places you want to see, like St. Stephen's, St. Peter's, and it's in the heart of Vienna, so you can spread out anywhere from here. Plus, there's a lot of places to eat. The City Hall, whose real name I cannot pronounce, looks like a cathedral from a distance away. We never made it there, but maybe we'll get there on our next trip to Vienna. The Nachtmarkt is Vienna's quintessential foodie market since the 16th century. This is very crowded. Not really my type of place, not just because of the crowds and too much going on. There's just really nothing here that interests me, unless I was buying food. The Secession Building is an exhibition hall. It was completed in 1898 by a group of rebel artists that succeeded from the long-established fine art institutions. Now, I cannot say I fully understand what that means. Although everyone knows that Berlin was divided between the European Allies after World War II, many, including myself, didn't realize that Vienna was also a divided city. The city was divided into 4 occupied zones: the USA, Great Britain, France, and the USSR. An international zone was created in the inner city. All 4 powers worked together in this inner city, but none of them really ever trusted each other. The Cold War began even before the name came into existence. In 1955, the State Treaty was signed with the 4 occupying powers, and Vienna became once again the capital of a sovereign Austria. From 1558 to 1806, it was the seat of the Holy Roman Empire. From 1806 to 1918, it was an imperial city, the capital of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. However, in 1918, after World War I ended and the Habsburg dynasty also ended, it became the capital of a smaller Austria. That is, until 1938 to 1945, when Austria was part of Adolf Hitler's Greater Germany, and Vienna became Greater Vienna, reflecting the Nazi revision of the city limits. Its population enjoyed a pretty good health and welfare system, which began in the 18th century in the reforms of Empress Maria Theresa and Emperor Joseph II. Pretty advanced for its time and very unusual under monarchies. Vienna is the seat of a Roman Catholic archbishop and a Protestant bishop. 2/3 of the city's population are Roman Catholic and only a very small percentage Protestant. But a considerable numbers profess no religion. But as they say, there are no atheists in a foxhole. Traces of human occupation of the site of Vienna have been found dating as far back as the Old Stone Age. The area was subsequently inhabited by the Illyrians, modern-day Albanians, and then the Celts. In the 16 to 15 BC, the Romans, when it became a strategic Roman garrison town. The Romans were swept away in the 5th century, but enough of the Roman settlement remained to become the center of the medieval city. The Bavarians occupied the area, and then the people became Christianized. The city's name was recorded in 881, but not as Vienna, but as Wien, if I'm saying that correctly. In 1679, the bubonic plague struck the city, killing nearly a third of its population. Then during the summer of 1683, Vienna suffered a second Turkish siege. The Viennese defenders, together with imperial troops under Charles of Lorraine, held off the Turkish army, which was defeated with the help of relief forces led by the King of Poland. Shortly thereafter, Prince Eugene of Savoy succeeded in driving the Turks out of Hungary altogether. The Reformation that swept through Europe during the 16th century challenged the authority of the Roman Catholic Church. The Peace of Augsburg, signed in 1555, recognized the right of Lutheranism to exist, but decreed that the regional princes were to determine which form of Christianity their subjects must follow. But because the Viennese were required to remain Roman Catholic, many who had become Protestant had to leave the city. It was during this period that new fortifications were built to replace the medieval city walls, and the Hofburg was enlarged with the addition of new courts. The splendid secular buildings of the Baroque era proclaimed Vienna's statue as an imperial residence and one of the great world capitals. Vienna is a magnificent city, or at least the parts we were in. There is always some type of renovation or reconstructions going on. However, it was not what I had in my head after watching too many black and white movies made during the 50s with dark shadows and trench-coated men skulking around, passing state secrets from both sides of the Iron Curtain. We didn't get to see anywhere near as much as there is to see here, but those Habsburgs, they did know how to live. Not bad for a family not born into royalty, but married into it, and practically were run out of Switzerland.